Hi folks, welcome to this Lake Fork Report. Hey, this week we've got Joe Thomas, our special guest. Joe is down to fish an FLW Tour event in Shreveport that got canceled. And we had planned to do a show on Lake Fork, and scheduling got messed up, and Mother Nature has thrown a real wrench in the deal by giving us a blizzard in Texas, 8-10 inches of snow. Water temp on Fork is 45 degrees. So we kind of spun the wheels and said, hey, let's go to Monticello to film this show. And
it was a good move.
Here we are.
Yeah.
And we ended up catching fish on the pre-season, pre-spawn technique that's used all around the country. And that's lipless rattlebaits.
Yeah, anytime, it seems like every lake we go to, Lance, when the water is like in that upper 40s to mid 50s, which, you know, even in Monticello, it's in the 50s because it's been so blistering cold, you can't hardly beat that lipless crankbait. And we were using the little red ones today. I was using LV100, and you were using I think a Daiwa model, but tipping the tops of the grass and snapping it out of the grass. And man, we caught a lot of fish. I think we had, 10 fish from the 3 to 5 pound range and lost a couple of bigger ones. It was a good day.
With the conditions we had, post front, really cold, really north, started out 27 degrees, big strong north wind. We had a great time fishing, catching some good fish. And we went through all the techniques of lipless rattlebait fishing. And that included coots, finding the grass, looking for the coots, finding the good grass. And then like you said.
Because there's not a lot of grass. I mean, we only found certain areas, and you're right, the coots were, in those key areas, and you didn't need a depth finder to find them. You just looked for the coots and you found the grass. I think that's one of the things that you should look for a lot of times.
Since we filmed that show, I've been on Lake Fork, chasing Lake Fork trophies. Now, they've shut the gates so the water is stable. The water has still been cold, but it's been on the rise. It started out 43.5, and I fished water yesterday in 53-degree water. Now, the locations we're catching fish are still main lake points, secondary points, and grass lines for the lipless rattlebaits. And the spawning pockets, the areas where fish spawn, they're there. In the back of the coves, in the dead lily pad stems and hydrilla, they're there. Now the water temperature is warming in this shallower water right now, and these fish are moving to this water fast. It doesn't take much to get them to move. The techniques that we've been catching fish on, the lipless rattlebait, I've been fishing out in the green water, on the grass lines, and secondary points and points. But the areas in the backs where the fish are going to be spawning in not too long a time, we've been catching them on a spinnerbait. The water's muddier back in the backs of these pockets, so the spinnerbait puts out a lot of vibration and we're getting a lot of bites. I mean, 1 to 4 foot of water, we're getting good bites on the spinnerbait. I'm using a Colorado blade and then the Colorado willow leaf blade spinnerbait, white chartreuse. Now, I'll go through an area and really pound it with this spinnerbait. And I'm even catching some fish on a weightless rattlesnake. The diamondback rattlesnake and the real shad colors, putting a few fish in the boat, and they're big ones. Had a real big break off yesterday. We're not getting very many bites, and we're putting a lot of time in to get 5 bites. I think the most bites we had this week was 8 bites when we put 6 in the boat and we lost 2. But they've been good ones. 3 to almost 8 pounds. We haven't broke that 8-pound mark yet, but we've lost some pretty big fish that we've seen. End of February is always a good time of the year to catch a real big fish, and it's coming right now. I predict there's going to be a ShareLunker within a week and a half. You can see this show later this summer, still Reelin' Outdoors with Joe Thomas. Hey, it's going to be a great show. Keep an eye out for it. Again, I'm Lance Vick. This is Lake Fork Report, and good fishing.